Polish farmers have once again taken to the roads, this time all over Poland. The farmers' protests are a direct result of inaction, chaotic decision making, and a lack of real support from Polish politicians. For months, we have seen one thing: a lack of action, a lack of dialogue, and a lack of responsibility towards farmers. Farmers' protests took place in over 200 locations. What is happening today is really an act of desperation on the part of farmers, because they are being pushed to the wall. The government is not dealing with agricultural programs. The Polish Ministry of Agriculture and the Prime Minister are not solving our key problems, which are actually killing our industry. We are not standing here to show our powerlessness. We just want to show that we are here, we want to produce, and we still have some faith in ourselves, that we want to produce something else on this Polish soil. The main demand is to block the European Union's agreement with the Mercosur bloc. This agreement simply has to be thrown in the trash. It cannot be agreed to. There is no such thing as goodwill on the part of those in power. There isn't. Tusk has stated unequivocally that the Mercosur agreement will be signed and he will not block it. Until the previous government was still in power, there was a so-called blocking minority: France, Belgium, Italy, Poland, Ireland, and until that moment, the agreement with Mercosur had not been signed, and there was no consent to it. France, under pressure from nationwide protests, pushed through the postponement of a key vote on Mercosur and is trying to unite other EU countries to form a blocking minority against this agreement, which is disastrous for European and our agriculture. When it comes to Mercosur, it's very simple. As a member state, we are not asking for this agreement to be postponed, but we do not agree with it at all. We say no to Mercosur. The Italian government, which has not yet made a final decision, shares this view. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said that the distribution of the European Union's agricultural budget is detrimental to Italy, which is why they are having problems with agricultural producers and cannot sign the agreement at this time. A trade agreement with the Mercosur bloc of countries would allow cheaper, much lower quality agricultural products from South America to be imported without customs duties or other additional charges. Signing this agreement would be disastrous for countries with developed agriculture, such as Poland, but beneficial for industrial countries such as the Netherlands and Germany. That is why the president of the European Commission, a German, is pushing for the signing of this agreement.
We need a few extra weeks to address some issues with member states, and we have reached out to our Mercosur partners and agreed to postpone slightly the signature.
Although the agreement with Mercosur countries has not yet been signed, demand for Polish agricultural products is already declining. This is being felt, for example, by sugar beet growers in eastern Poland. I had 20 hectares of beets there, so I have to reduce it to 15. I am also a malt and barley grower, and I hear the same thing, that they don't need barley, malt for brewing, etc. anymore. I suspect that it's all coming from somewhere else, or is about to come. Food from Mercosur countries may be cheaper at first, but when Polish agriculture collapses, we will have no choice but to buy foreign food, and then countries outside the European Union may raise their prices. How much can we subsidize, and from what really? We can keep it up for a year or two, but in the long run it's not possible. In their protest, farmers also want to draw attention to other, equally important issues. In addition to Mercosur, we have problems with Ukraine. There is further liberalization of trade with Ukraine, which will come into effect in January, a five-fold increase in the sugar quota. Grain prices are what they were 20 years ago, and we know how much costs have risen, how much energy, fuel, and labor costs have risen. This is a protest by farmers and consumers. The issue of agriculture is not exclusively a matter for farmers. It is also a consumer issue. This is because consumers will also pay for this incompetence. Although farmers are protesting peacefully today, they are already announcing intensified strikes in the new year.